So, Dan, penalty shootouts. We've seen one recently in the cup final. Man United's been knocked out of them quite a lot.
Yeah.
It doesn't require a lot of skill, in my opinion. It's more luck, composure, confidence, and, to be honest, is it really the best way to determine a massively important game? Because in my opinion, if a team's deadlock, I think they have much better ways than a penalty shootout.
It has its good points and its bad points, really, isn't it? I mean, I can remember when they took away the penalty shootout and they had was it the golden goal, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And when it did happen, I didn't like it. Where I think the penalty shootout, for me personally, it just gives a bit more excitement. You know, you get into you sort of getting sort of like 5 minutes before the end of extra time, and then I think everybody wishes that it stays a draw then.
Yeah.
And you get disappointed if someone scores a last minute winner because you think, oh, we're going to penalties now.
But then is that for the fans of the club a downside? Oh, we'll hold out for a draw.
Yeah.
Whereas golden goal, it's like both teams are going to attack. Because if you're one of these teams who are sat back, soaking it up, ready for a penalty shootout, you can't do that in golden goal because else you're never going to get the attack.
Well, you say that, but I think from the games that I can remember the golden goal, some teams did sit back because they were just thinking, we'll just try and catch you on the break. And it was a boring sort of like 10, 15 minutes.
Yeah.
There's nothing really exciting where both teams you think. I think what it was is because one team would sort of go for it and the other team was sort of scared that they were going to, concede a goal.
Yeah.
So they just defended really bad, and like...
Low block.
Yeah. And when you sort of get to the extra time and you're going to go into penalties, you can always tell when a team doesn't want to go to penalties. They sort of go for it.
But in your opinion, though, do you think it's a good way to determine, say, a World Cup final? Do you think it's a good way to determine a World Cup final on penalties? Because the better team might not win it.
But that's the problem, isn't it? That's the downside of it, I must admit. So, that's why I was saying there's two ways of looking at it, and that is one of the other sides.
Yeah.
If it was... It all depends, I think, really, if you're the winning side and the losing side. And if
yeah.
England was to win the World Cup on penalty shootout, I would think
take
it's the best thing
of course
going.
you would, yeah.
If they lost the penalty shootout, what would I say?
Oh, and we lost the Euros on penalties.
Yeah, I would accept that because I prefer penalties rather than the golden goal. They haven't come up with any other way they can think of, and me personally, I haven't come up with another way.
Well, I got ideas. One of them I think is realistic because it's been done. The second one's wacky, but I think it would make for some entertaining games.
Go on then.
So the first one is what the MLS used to do.
Right, yeah.
I think, when I've watched clips of that back, it requires so much more skill. So basically, in case you didn't know, back in the 90s, I think it was, instead of doing a penalty shootout...
I just about remember it now, yeah.
The MLS used to start off with the ball in the D of the halfway line.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
And it would be a one-on-one situation. And it wouldn't be until the goalkeeper would touch the ball that it would be out of play, or it would actually go out of play, or in the net, of course. So it requires a lot more skill, composure, than a penalty shootout just running up and kicking it. Because the player, you then got to decide, right, who's good at dribbling, who's good at taking around the goalkeeper.
Yeah.
It requires a different, complete level of skill. And I think how much more hilarious would it be watching a centre-back running up and doing it. I think that would be a much more entertaining plus a much more skillful way, because then I think not 9 times out of 10, but majority of the time, the better team will come out the winner of that. Whereas penalties, I mean, England were amazing in the Euros. Were we the better team in the final? Some would argue yes, some would argue no. But we didn't deserve to lose on penalties.
We were the best side for the 20 minutes. The first 20 minutes when we took it to Italy.
Yeah.
Once Italy settled down and sussed the way we were playing, we didn't change. We didn't have a plan B, as we would say.
No, but I don't think we deserve to lose on penalties. And that is something that not bothered me, but kind of does bother me. Yeah. So, but I think if we did that,
we lose a lot of competitions and penalties.
Well, yeah, as a Man United fan, I lost the Europa League final on penalties as well. So I think the MLS version is quite an interesting concept, and I'd love to see
that's something different.
Love to see that in play again. Maybe I'd go back and watch a couple of clips to see why, or find out why they didn't do it, whether there was a reason. But the other one, I think there should be when you go into extra time. And it's getting close to maybe not go to the 30 minutes. I think by the 20th minute, there should be a thing. Right, 20 minutes is gone. Both managers, you got to take a player off now.
Yeah.
And then every couple of minutes, another player's got to come off for that final 10 minutes.
Yeah, that'd be good. I quite like that.
Because then, for the final 10 minutes,
you could be
down to five players each.
Yeah.
Somebody's going to score a goal
Yeah.
very soon. Because there's no way in hell, on an 11-a-side pitch, fitness-wise, both teams could physically stop each other from having an overload on one side.
Well, you're gonna have definitely a goalkeeper in you.
Yeah.
So it'll probably be 2 defenders and a midfield player and 1 striker.
But that's the thing. Tactically, what does a manager do?
Yeah.
And that's where the game is won and lost. Not by penalties, where it's, I'm going to pick these 5 people to kick a ball from 12 yards. It's going to be, right, fucking hell, I'm going to take a defender off first, and then we're going to gamble.
Yeah.
And then go, well, he's just took a midfielder off. I'm going to leave another midfielder on next time, take a striker off, which means we'll have, again, 4 midfielders compared to their 3.
Yeah.
I think tactically it would be so interesting.
It would be, yeah.
In the way it would
I
be
like
played.
the sound of that. Yeah.
I really do. It would add a complete different level, and I think as well, people will be wanting it to go to extra time. As a neutral, I'd be like, "Come on, let's go to extra time."
Well,
Because
that's
that last 10 minutes is going to be chaos.
We're talking about the game that just happened recently, and that was the cup final with Liverpool-Chelsea, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I must admit, I wanted it to call penalties.
Really, I
Yeah.
didn't.
But saying that because it was such a good game. I mean, it's one of the best 0-0 games I've watched.
Yeah.
You know, you just didn't know which way it was going to go. There was goals that were being disallowed for offside and all that. But it was a really good game. And did the best team win? I couldn't pick out the best team because I thought both teams played really well.
Yeah.
Both teams had their sort of side of it. So, you know, it come to... I mean, me personally as a neutral, after watching Chelsea play in a cup final before and that goalkeeper...
Yeah.
I thought it was the best outcome that I could have even asked for.
It was hilarious, yeah.
You know, if you'd sat me down and said, right, what would you like to happen if it went to penalty shootouts? That's exactly where I would have read it for him.
Saves none of them,
Yeah.
but he's the one who misses.
Yeah, that's right.
Perfect. I feel sorry for him, really.
Oh,
in a way, I feel
you've
sorry
got
for
to really,
him.
innit?
It's hilarious for Chelsea.
Yeah.
And I also feel sorry for the keeper they took off because he was fantastic.
Oh, what
He's their best player.
Yeah, he was by far their best player.
Arguably, goalkeeper of the year,
Yeah.
I'd say.
Yeah.
And 2 years ago, he's unemployed and on the dole.
Unbelievable, wasn't it?
Incredible.
Unbelievable.
What a story.
Yeah.
What a story. But yeah, those are the things that I think would make a better option than penalty shootout. Because for entertainment purposes, I think both options are way more entertaining.
Yeah. I like the one with the taking off. I like that'd be more entertaining.
Yeah, for the last 10 minutes, and then at that 10 minutes, then it's golden goal because you're then 5-on-5 or 6-on-6, whatever it is. You can't really go too much less than that because that'd just be silly.
Yeah.
But, 6 players on the pitch.
That'd be it. I reckon that'd be good.
Yeah. And it would be entertaining, it would be tactical.
If I remember right, wasn't there in like a rugby 5-a-side something or 6-a-side?
Yeah, like rugby
tournament?
sevens.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, and I've seen that a couple of times.
And that's played on full-size rugby pitches almost.
They're always scoring.
Yeah.
That's a high-scoring game. So it could work out.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah,
definitely.
So I think that is definitely a better option, more entertaining, and I'd love to just see the MLS version in play again.
Yeah.
Because the one-on-one situation is always a lot of fun. Yeah, what do you think? Do you think penalty shootouts are terrible? I don't really like them. Dad kind of is on the fence, kind of likes them, kind of doesn't. Let us know if you have any other ideas to replace them.